So, how did you embark on your own brand?
I'm a stay-at-home dad, so I've been at home for about 15 years. And it was when my teenagers, I've got a boy and a girl, they'd started adolescence, and their ultimate horror was to be, smell at school. So they were starting secondary school, and they wanted me to get them a deodorant. The next time I went on the family shop to the supermarket, I'd noticed that these products were segregated by gender, which I thought was quite an interesting way to sell what I thought were essentially the same formulations. And then I found the products aimed at my daughter, and they were sort of pink and sparkly and pouty, um, but they were called things like minx and tease, play it sexy, kiss me, submit, be submissive, and I just couldn't bring myself to buy. She was 11 at this time, and then I went to the boys aisle thinking that maybe there was a product there that she could use that was aimed at my teenage son. But it was the same sort of thing. There were sort of rows of black and steel cans, and they were called power, control, force, adrenaline. And if you put those two products next to each other at a time when young people are first engaging with personal care and wanting a product to actually do a job for them, I couldn't believe the way that the marketing teams thought that this was the right way to go about marketing to them, with sort of sexually aggressive for the boys and sexually submissive for the girls. Needless to say, I didn't buy any of them, and I got home and I was determined to make an alternative.
And what is the alternative all about?
Well, I didn't want the packaging to sort of have messaging and images that tell them who they should be or how they should behave. I just wanted to have a deodorant. It was small. They could use it, and it had no sort of other messaging. And it was unisex because obviously, skin is skin and hair is hair. The difference between boys' skin and girls' skin is, well, in personal care, I'd argue nothing. So they can use the same products. But I'd seen this messaging creeping into other areas, into body washes, shampoos, and decided to extend the range and not just create a deodorant, but actually create a sort of everyday range of products, essential products that adolescents could use throughout their teenage years. Unisex, obviously.
And what is the star product? Is that the deodorant?
Yeah, it all started with the deodorant, but the other products that sell in the same rate are the face wash and moisturiser combination. Obviously, adolescents, they're getting spots, the hormone changes. That's the primary concern for them. So the skincare is very, very popular.
Via what channels do you reach your target group?
Well, I'm difficult because I target teenagers in terms of trying to get a message out there, but it's the parents that tend to buy the products, and so the channels that I have to use have different messages. I even split my Instagram channels, so social media. I'll talk to the parents on one channel and talk to the adolescents on another. And that's really how we communicate on Facebook a little bit now, but that's more with adults, with the people who are buying the products. And I'm very shouty on Twitter, but that's more of a personal message.
And what is your most successful marketing campaign so far?
I would just say I just started, and I just talked about it. And this is a long, this is way back. I first had this impression in 2011, and then in 2013 we managed to get the products out there because it took a couple of years, and it was such a new, fresh message that was out there that everyone picked up on it. And that the mainstream media, and that was my most successful point, is when we first started talking about it. But these shows are great, and magazines are good, and newspapers. Sort of traditional media is very good for me because again, it's the parents who are buying the products.
Are you also thinking of going international?
Not at the moment. I'm struggling to keep up with demand in the UK, and I quite like having a UK market because I feel very comfortable in that market. It's quite a sophisticated and subtle message that I give out, and it's a very UK message. And as an indie brand, to meet EU regulations, it's all the translation of the packaging and it's a massive extra cost. I don't really know the European market, so then there'd be a huge cost in marketing and getting me known out there. So I'm very happy just UK at the moment.
Will you have any major launches this year?
We've got a razor gel coming out, a shaving system, first shaving kit for adolescents coming out before the end of the year.